Hello Internet, and welcome to my review for the delightful Boruto Naruto Next Generations episode 106. When we last left our heroes, we had a little clip show of Mitsuki's role in the Mitsuki disappearance arc, which is a really weird choice of focus character for a clip show of that arc because Mitsuki isn't there for half the time, but whatever, is what we got. Also, Mitsuki might one day lose all his memories in the distant future, but maybe not. Anyway, on to this delightful episode. First, the less delightful things. Right off the bat, they are making me feel bad about Asuma again 10 years later, and it worked, damn it. I still felt bad about Asuma, and I first read that fucking arc in the fucking aughts. Anyway, we find out Mirai's on guard duty for Kakashi and Guy, and she gets this whole kind of introductory inner monologue that feels like it's ripped from an episode 1. Probably because this is adapted from the beginning of a book. But, we know Mirai at this point, not terribly well. She's hardly ever really been the focus of, the closest she had to a leading role was the time she, defended, Naruto from, the future Team 7, when they didn't want to be, teammates. But still, it just felt like we knew most of that stuff already. Anyway, she goes to pray in front of the Okage Mountain, specifically to Hiruzen. And she runs into Shikamaru, Boruto, and Shikadai on the way home from some burger thing. And here's kind of the one kind of weird thing to me. I always imagined Shikamaru taking a more paternal role in Mirai's life. So I'm a little disappointed that they don't really seem to be much more than, sensei and student. That was just not really how I envisioned, in the end of, with Asuma's dying and Mura Shikamaru and everything, I was like, oh yeah, he'll be kind of the relationship I imagined was Harry Potter and Lupin's son, Teddy. That kind of, how that relationship is kind of seen in, at least the fandom. They didn't do a whole lot in canon, because Teddy's a little brat when the series ends. That's not the point, though. That was kind of that relationship, kind of a Godfather relationship. More so than the kind of sensei-student one we see here. Still, seeing that Shikamaru gave Mirai her dad's weapon is really sweet. Also, her kind of antagonistically sister relationship with Shikadai is a lot of fun. They just do not gel. One thing to point out though, so we find out that Shikamaru has asked Mirai the question that Asuma asked Shikamaru shortly before he died, about who the king is in the Leaf Village. Mirai thinks it's the bonds between shinobi, though we all know, of course, it's the children. That was the big thing at the end of, Asuma's arc. And yeah, with the focus on Asuma at the start of the arc, and with the line at the end reminding us that we're going to the place where Hidan was born, it's pretty clear this is all gonna kind of loop back to the events of Hidan and Kakuzu, way back in, the mid-aughts. God, that was a long time ago. Wow. Anyway. Also, back to her sibling relationships. I really enjoy her very different sisterly relationship with Boruto. Unlike Shikadai, who just seems to have a more antagonistic, for lack of a better word, sibling bond, her relationship with Boruto seemed more like an older sister trying to impress her younger brother with, how cool her job is, They feel like a much older sister being oh yeah, this super cool job, it's so awesome. She's just kind of bragging, and it's really cute. I love it. Anyway, on to the mission itself. So, the pairing of Mirai with the utterly carefree Guy and Kakashi is perfect. And I am livid this book was not adapted sooner. I should not have waited all of these years to read what might be the funniest Naruto story in eons. The scene where they're walking in the woods, and they see the old man and the cane, And, like, Mirai is so tense. Like, oh, yeah, this guy is totally a threat. And she, like, puts her hand down in front of Kakashi and Guy, gets her, like, I don't think she readies her kunai, but she's, like, about to. And the old man just walks by and right past them, and Kakashi and Guy just, like, nod a greeting at him. Their nod is so funny. That was a phenomenal scene. And they're just like, did you really think that old man was gonna try to kill us? I love it. Yeah, that's just such a perfect joke right there. Anyway, so I mentioned in the past, the idea that Boruto never lets its one-off plots just be one-off plots, which is really great from a world-building perspective. Going off my gushing high horse to a more analytical gushing. Yeah, so Boruto always kind of lets its one-off plots come back again, whether it's the movie guy occasionally showing up on TV screens, or the one-off Super Beast Scroll slump eventually leading into Inojine's mastering of the, or getting some kind of control over the mind transfer jutsu by his fight with Kokuyo. Similar thing with Namida and the Crying Cannon, or Mikazuki in the last 2 episodes. We see that again here, with the Kurama plushie from Parent and Child Day, makes a cameo here as a prize that Kakashi and Guy try to win in a store from a store in town. So yeah, that's a more nice, like, subtle world building. It's not in your face. It's just a reminder that the things that happen in other episodes continue on into other episodes, which is like how life works. You know, these, like, life is a series of cause to events to cause to effect, and on and on and on again. But also just every minute in the town is iconic. Like, Mirai getting so concerned about the pickpocket, while Kakashi just don't care. Kakashi and Guy just don't care. That's good enough. Then we find out it was a fake wallet that just has a slip of paper telling thieves to not do bad things, which is such a Kakashi move, by the way. But then they see the tree. They see the hallowed ground. And we find out that all of this, the entire reason they came to this town in the first place, was because Kakashi wanted to see the tree where the Makeout Paradise movie was filmed. Like, I cannot tell you how much I laughed when the tree was from fucking Makeout Paradise the movie. And, you know, cueing some jokes about how mature Makeout Paradise is and how Mirai is not old enough to read it, which we have not heard about in years, by the way. Makeout Paradise has not been brought up, I think, since, like, Jiraiya died. A long time ago. Also a good 10 years ago, I think. But yeah. And, like, this is quite possibly the funniest episode of Boruto yet. We'll see if the rest of the arc can match it. Also, for the first time ever, we get some kind of hint about what actually happens in Makeout Paradise. Okay, really, we just find out the tree features prominently in it, but that's more than we've ever gotten before, okay? We're grasping at straws here for the plot of this damn book, okay? Yeah. One thing I have not mentioned in this review is Kakashi and Guy's friendship, which is a crime on my part, but they've somehow gotten even more fun in their old age. Like, whether it's the bit where Guy is walking on his hands because he's Guy and he can do that, and Kakashi just, like, slumps in Guy's wheelchair, which is such a Kakashi move, to them still competing over the Kurama plushie, to Guy, like, stealing Kakashi's tempura. I love them so much. They are icons, and we all deserved a friend like Kakashi and Guy. But anyway, Mirai is watching Kakashi and Guy in their hotel room, and Kakashi, like, pops out like, hey, you should, like, get some rest. It's a fucking vacation. Relax. And Mirai gets to kind of complain that she never really will get to have the same kind of life or death battles of making her name known across the world that Kakashi's generation did. That sure, it's great that we're in a time of peace, but like she's kind of bored. Which is um the complaints of the side of the fan base that are always complaining with the lack of big action spectacles in most of Boruto. The Momoshiki and Ku fights notwithstanding. So that's an interesting thing, and something tells me that, and our final line of the episode, where our super peaceful episode ends with Mirai remarking that she's about to enter the country where Hidan was born, which is totally not ominous at all. Why do you ask? Those two things combined make me think that by the arc's end, there will be some kind of action thing, and Mirai will have to step up to the plate and fight or something. I don't know. But yeah. This episode was delightful. Everything about it was pitch perfect, creating the funniest episode Boruto has ever given us. It might not be the funniest episode in the franchise, but that's just because nothing will ever top Gotta See, Gotta Know Kakashi Sensei's True Face, the greatest episode of anime of all time. But honestly, if the arc keeps this up for several episodes, it could come pretty damn close. I am curious, though. A lot of the things that made this arc funny made this episode funny are kind of already done in a way. You know, a lot of the humor came from Mirai's conviction that she's on this super serious mission, played off of Kakashi and Guy just joking around, being on vacation. And next episode seems to be focusing more on Kiba than our hero, so even the fun of Kakashi and Guy playing off each other might not be as big a focus. It still will be a focus, because they're still going to be in this village with Kiba and his girlfriend. Still, no matter what happens in the next episode or all the episodes after that, this episode is a delight, and I want to see more like it. Next time, we leave our ominous ending behind to focus on Kakashi and Guy stumbling onto a town in the middle of a cat versus dog war featuring Kiba and his girlfriend. There's a lot going on next episode. But I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the episode as much as I did and this video. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or, do whatever makes you happy. And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!